Hey folks, back at it again today. It's Wednesday, it's day 3 of the Lockdown Strength Coach. Day 3 of who knows how many. So today, like I told you, is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be no exercise, no fitness, no training, nothing hard, nothing sweaty that we're going to talk about today. Although feel free to do some. I think today I'm going to do a little nature walk with a vest on. If you haven't sprinted this week, maybe sprint a little bit. But the big thing we're going to do today is talk about productivity. Okay, and it's how to use kind of the method I use to stay productive, especially with a new schedule change. And I think it's important that, as student athletes that are out of their daily routine, getting into a new routine with online classes, people who are working from home, whatever it may be, it's finding that rhythm again, getting back into the habit of doing things right. All right, it always starts with, in my opinion, I like to do a morning routine. Okay, it sets the tone for the day. When I get to work first thing in the morning, sometimes it's about an hour and a half before the session may start. I want to give myself 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of just pure quiet time to read a little bit, to write a little bit, to plan my day. And daily readers are a good thing, daily vocationals, whatever it may be. For example, been using the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday now for almost 4 years or so. Probably as soon as it came out, I think I got that. The Bible's a good one. Tony Dungy's got a daily read. I'm sure there are many things, but that's kind of the one I go to. There's a special reading for every single day of a lot of the Stoic philosophers, and that's been really beneficial to me in my life. What I like the most about this book in particular, and to steal a quote from Heraclitus, that no man ever steps foot in the same river twice, for he's never the same man and it's never the same river. When I first got the Daily Stoic, I was working at the University of Minnesota, living in Minneapolis. I was married. I'm not sure if we had our first child yet, but that's where I was in my life. Since then, I have 2 children. I've lived in 2 different states since then. And so again, every time I read this book, every time I read a message, things I underlined in the past, things I underline now or make notes on, is interesting because it's a different message every single time I read it. I'm a different man, right? I've continued to be a father of a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, right? As he grows, as they both grow, I'm a little bit different every single time I read it. And so it's neat is looking back, opening a page, what was significant to me last year, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Why didn't I highlight certain things then, but I am now? So I think that's what's really neat about reading the same book daily over and over and over for years. I'm sure people who read the Bible on a daily basis over the course of decades and years probably feel the same way. So I think that's really, really vital about it. Whatever you might find for a daily read, maybe it's just a regular book where you give yourself 5-10 minutes. Give yourself a second to read, and it's going to go a long ways. First thing I do, though, with my journal, okay, been doing these, again, for a number of years. I've printed some off for friends, and I've kind of found my ways that most significantly impact my day. Some have been more simplified, some have been a little bit more complex, that take a little bit more time. They all work. It's just a matter of how much effort you want to put in and how many wins you want to give yourself in a day. First thing I do in my journal, so I read the Daily Stoic. I give myself just a moment to think. And then the first thing I want to do in my journal is, I've got a paragraph section, 5 or 6 lines where I want to write down maybe it's something I'm grateful for. Maybe it's something from the daily read that really struck out to me. Maybe it's something that, it's just a motivational quote. Maybe it's something inspirational. Maybe it's just something that I want to do today and I want to get it out of my head and onto paper. So I always start with that. I kind of get some thoughts on the paper. The next key thing, all right, and this is where the big one is the 3 things to make your day successful. Okay, so I have my little spot, give myself some space, and all right, 1, 2, 3. 3 things I need to do today to make the day a success. Now, we're going to come back to how to really hammer this out and be great at it, but it's simple stuff, right? You write down the 3 things you need to do today more than anything else to make today, at the end of the day, a success. Okay, like I said, we're going to circle back to that. Then what I do is I kind of write out my hourly schedule starting at, let's just say, 5 or 6 a.m. through 8 p.m. Okay, give it at, time blocks of time, chunk out some time, and taking words from Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom. If I block my time out, I schedule when I'm going to wake up. I schedule when I'm going to plan my day, eat my breakfast, take the kids to school, pick up the kids from school. I'll work on programming or maybe some team-specific stuff, some stuff related for the Zips. And I'm going to block that time out. Okay, and then I'm going to block out some time for myself. Maybe it's lunch, maybe it's read, maybe it's professional development, maybe it's lift or exercise. Okay, and I really want to make sure that I stick to those schedules, or adjust accordingly if I have to, and make sure it's on that paper so I give myself wins again every single time. Right, I can look through that day. Yeah, I hit objective A, B, C, and D. I did this, and this throughout the day. I got all my things covered, and what that does is it frees up other time. All right, if I know that from 9 to 10 today, I'm to be working on converting a lot of our programming from Excel and paper to somehow Google, somehow online, somewhere free and cheap, okay? How are we going to do this with the best capabilities of my staff, our resources, and our players? That's what my block of 9 to 10 is going to be. Probably going to come back to that later in the afternoon, do a little bit more, but I'm going to make sure that in that block, 9 to 10, I'm fully immersed into that today. No distractions, no TV, there's nothing else going on. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing in that moment. It might be the same thing later on this afternoon. I'm going to do some professional development reading. Okay, I'm going to work through the Altus course on the short sprints and starts. And again, that's what my hour is going to be dedicated to. Just that 1 hour, no distractions at all. Block out that time frame. Gives me a lot more freedom again later on in the day. So make sure when my wife gets home, when my kids get home, I'm able to turn everything off and be the husband, be the dad that I need to be, and not be distracted by the things I should have done earlier throughout the day. Okay, the last thing I do is I try to do either a PM or evening reflection, or sometimes it's just a weekend reflection, depending on how involved I want to get. So the PM reflection or the evening reflection, again, is just something, again, 2 lines, maybe a few sentences. What went well today? What didn't go well today? What am I excited about? What am I excited about for tomorrow? Okay, some things that I can improve on, and just reflect. This is the time to really share that gratitude. Really write down the stuff that's in your head and maybe some thoughts for the next day. Okay, what I want to go back to now is cycling through the 3 things to make today a success. And what I want to say is start simple, start with wins. Okay, giving yourself 3 things, and again, to make your day a success. If you can go 3 for 3, that's an incredibly successful day. What I would recommend is you start simple and say, hey, I want 3 things to do today to make today a success. I want to read. Don't give it a page, don't give it a time. I want to exercise. Same thing. No details, no sets, no reps. Or I want to eat well, have good nutrition. All right, those 3 things. You can decide at the end of the day, did I read a little bit? Yes. Did I exercise a little bit? Yes. Did I eat smart? Yes. Win, win, win. Congratulations. Once you get used to starting stacking up wins every single day, then I'd say that's when you might want to throw in something a little bit more individualized, a little bit more specific, right? You want to get X number of things done. You want to get these number of pages. You want to get this much work. You want to get this many sets and reps. You want to hit these, tangible things. I would say wait for that at the end, right? Because what you don't want to do is get it started and set your details so high that you don't achieve any of them, or you achieve 1 out of 3. Okay, that's kind of kind of demoralizing, right? You want to set yourself up for success, and so you want to give yourself wins. Like I said, make it contagious. Okay, you can look back at the end of a single day in your PM reflection. All right, I went 3 for 3 today. That's good. Today I went 1 for 3. I got distracted quite a bit. I let outside things get to me. I couldn't get the job done. Something I need to stay on top of tomorrow. Okay, but it's the biggest thing is that you really look at it as a success. Plus, it also makes you prioritize the best way possible. All right, there's a million things I could do today, but there's 3 things I need to do today to make it successful. I need to exercise today. I need to get 1,000 steps in today. I'm not walking around training, coaching as much as I used to. So I got to get 10,000 steps in today, 10,000. The other thing is I want to stick to the schedule. All right, simple. Those are my 3 things today. Not very hard, not very difficult, but it's going to make sure that, maybe it's 7:30 p.m. and I'm at 8,000 steps today. I've got to do something. I got to get out and walk a little bit, get my 10,000, feel really, really good about myself, feel good about the plan, about the program, about the journal, and I'm going to go to bed happier. All right, so that's what it's really all about. Again, let's see if you guys can see here. Got the date, the day, all right? Horrible handwriting, don't worry about that. Some thoughts, the 3 things I want to do today, my schedule, 6 to noon on one side, 1 to 8 on the other, some space for reflection at the end. I've had a number of former athletes, former interns, former coaches that have done this with me. It's been a part of our curriculum before with interns, with staff, and they've all benefited from it greatly. So give that a shot. Let me know what you think. Coming back tomorrow with a little bit more action, a little bit more activity, something hard, something physical. But again, whether you're a student athlete, change of plans, change of routine, this is a great option for you to get on top, stay on top, and be productive. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Go Zips. Wash your hands. Coffee helps too.